To start with, let me introduce myself. I'm Anilkumar Varma, and I'm heading the technology in MCX Clearing Corporation. So, I don't know how many of you are actually doing trading in commodity market, but just like NSE, BSC, we do trading and provide trading platforms and settlements to trade happens in bullions, metals, energy, and all. And for us, the technology and all customers are completely digital. Without the technology, we do not exist. Okay, and the platforms and its real timeness. Okay, and efficiency is very, very critical for any of the operation perspective. For us, the customer and our technology both together basically works as a single unit for us. Okay? And just to introduce, let me took you through the panelists so they can talk about themselves and share their journey and experiences, how they are bringing the digital transformations to their own organization. So start with Sahil, if you could talk about yourself.
Sure. Thank you so much for joining this session. My name is Sahil. I work with Adidas. I take care of CX, which is broadly product, digital growth, and everything related to conversion on the funnel.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Manoj Gupta. I take care of IT for India specific business. So I don't know if you know the brand called Burger King. I don't know, it's a restaurant brand in Asia. Probably you don't know it, but Burger King is a brand. You must be knowing it. So I head the IT for India business.
Hello everyone, Nikhil Asopa. I look after customer service at Tata Digital, and the first super app Tata New is part of Tata Digital if people have downloaded or if they have heard of.
Just to start with Sahil, the very first thing we see in any organization is a customer being customers loyalty basically, and every organization basically bring multiple ways to engage their customer and ensure that they remains with them. Okay, so what kind of experiences or the let's say transformation you are bringing in your organizations, or how do you see that the customer loyalty can be retained?
I think in the post-COVID era, a lot has been said about digital transformation and the way digital penetration is increasing. And I think it's now the industry is in somewhere in the mid of understanding and knowing what is the right penetration in each of the categories and how can the PNL be positive. You would have commonly heard that e-commerce is all about discounts. It's all about undercutting the market prices and taking the market with a storm, increase the market share, and then after 5-7 years, sell off the business and go off. I think in the traditional brands, it doesn't happen that way. For us, consumer experience starts from the point of the first point of contact when you either touch either a retail outlet or you interact with any of the touch points across digital. So when you talk about loyalty, I think just like most of the other brands, we also have a loyalty program. But the way we differentiate our loyalty is getting consumers used to experiences which money can't buy. Let me take an example. So think of the Qatar World Cup and think of the biggest event that is happening. Just for perspective, football is now followed by 50% of the world's population. So it has a fan following of closer to 4 billion people. And imagine you are being taken through a route where exactly after 48 hours, Lionel Messi will travel with his own team, wearing his own jersey and going and playing for the final. Now imagine you walk into that room, which is the dressing room, and instead of Messi's t-shirt, it's your t-shirt that is there, and the number subscribed is of Messi, but the name written on the back is actually yours. This is what I refer to money can't buy, and this is actually a real-time example of one of the partners who actually spoke to us post he got this experience. So these are some of the things that the new age brands need to now think. It cannot every time be all about pricing. It has to be about something which resonates, which money cannot buy, and which sticks with the consumer's resonance for a very long period of time.
Thanks, Sahil. So let's take it to Manoj. As Sahil was bringing out about customer experience, okay, if you can talk about the how you and bringing this customer experience, because since you are in restaurant business, okay, so how basically the digital transformation or digital technology is basically helping this out to connect and bring out the experience.
Absolutely. So I think like what Sahil mentioned, it's very important. Like what exactly you provide to the customer, something that money can't buy, which is very absolutely fine. But our business is totally different, because in our case, of course, you can buy something from money, burger at least. And but again, jokes apart. See, customer experience, when you talk about it, there is a two way of looking into it. One is like online and offline, and both actually work totally different. And absolutely, end of the day, it works hand to hand each other, but it works totally different because when you talk about digital business or online business, whether it is a mobile app or whether it is a M site or any channel, like aggregator channel, it's very important for us to understand because the backbone is technology. At any point of time when as a customer, when you're ordering something, it is not like something buying and delivering it, okay? Because after delivering, there is a lot many things that we need to do. That is we call like customer experience. That is where we work on how do we ensure like whatever customer got it, whether he eat it rightly and he liked the food, whether he don't like the food or he said like something is wrong with the food, and how do we ensure like you'll give an instant gratification to the customer, because that is the critical aspect to it. Because we scattered across the India, in fact, for that matter. So the journey is totally different, for digital and online and offline. We're not talking about, of course, we are moving now to the digital era, and everyone is like we are targeting our customer to also go to the digital side. Okay, that is where I think not only it's most of the QSR moving to the digital inside the store. In dining, I'm talking about specifically. So like the way the traditional way of doing, like when you go to the customer counter, you go to the sales, you go to the POS counter, you do the billing. That is one way of looking. But again, but I've seen like we have also realized it. A lot of customer, they feel like pressurizing because there is a queue behind somebody standing behind you, and you feel like pressurized to order something. And that is where digital play a very vital role here. In this case, what happened, like when you go to the SOK, self ordering kiosk, for that matter, or you have your online scan the barcode and do the billing, you have your enough time to select the product. And that is actually, and trust me, in fact, doing this way, we can see the overall APC is improving across the market. It is not only like one location I'm talking about. It is like I'm talking about across the market, wherever we have actually gone to the digital piece of it. And it's helping a lot to the business. And one good thing, because now we can only focus on the customer experience now, correct? So customer, you don't have to spend too much of time on your billing counter. You don't have to spend too much of time like, okay, should I do the upselling there and there? Do you want something extra? Can I do the cross-selling there? Customer is a king for us. Like, customer can select whatever they want. And that is where we change the overall scenario. Now there is no more like, self-service. We call like a table service. Customer will go to the table. They can sit to the table. We will serve to your table. And customer don't feel like pressurizing. If they want to buy something, they can buy. It's totally different. So that is where I'm saying innovation is something you can't ignore it. You can't avoid it, and you have to keep improving. AI is something that we were actually about to talk. So AI is also definitely going to help to the business, to the overall. This will in fact enhance the overall customer experience as well. So I feel like digital piece is a very, very important piece for us, because delivery and dining, it's equivalently important. We know like delivery is little complex business because it has a lot of integrated systems. It is not a human driven system, it's a system driven systems. A lot of systems involved to give, because when you order something from one application, it is not only one application that you're seeing. There is a lot of APIs, calls are happening back and forth, and that is where you're getting the service. So of course, we've actually reached to a certain level, and we've been keep growing. And that is our idea, because we want to keep innovating to the customer, keep giving the new experience to the customer to improve overall business and the growth.
That's actually true, because for us also, if the technology backbone is not there, okay, you cannot retain the customer. They will just simply go away. Okay, for us it is real money involved, where the losses is directly tied up with your technology. Okay, so if the technology is not functioning, market goes down for half an hour, crores of rupees for the customer goes on toss. Okay, somebody lose, somebody makes, but then fact remains that people go bankrupt very easily. Okay, so real money involved, but in your case it is more on the customer experience and satisfaction which you want to bring up with the technology. Okay, and taking that clue, okay, I'm going to talk to Nikhil, who comes from Tata Digital. Tata as a name, as a brand, you don't need, I think, to work so hard. People trust, actually. So, how do you think this retaining or bringing, apart from the trust, superior experience in the customers', let's say, life? How, because you have a diverse technology, digital technology platforms. So, how do you think that you helping with the digital transformation in this era, to bring some kind of more better experience apart from the trust and the loyalty customer has with the Tata?
So thank you, Anil, and thank you everyone for coming and being part of this discussion. See, let me take a 30 seconds to explain how the uh, Tata New, which is the super app of Tata Digital, how it works, right? So Sahil basically has to take care of his customers who are coming to buy Adidas product, which can be shoes, apparel, whatever, right? Manoj at the same time has to come and has to basically take care of the customers who basically are coming to basically eat burger, and then add at least 12, 13 more categories, which is pharmacy, which is electronics, which is grocery, which is hotels, which is flights. Okay. And all add up to Tata Digital and Tata New, right? So the complexity of providing a seamless customer service, what you mentioned, and a better customer experience becomes quite, in one sense, complex, but very challenging, okay, for us, because all these customers come to Tata New app for to basically buy product or services across different categories. And don't forget, there is a plethora of financial services products which we also sell it as part of Tata New. So consistency becomes a very important factor of how you are going to give the same experience. And now just add a complexity more, okay, where I am servicing to a customer who's buying an electronic product on my app. He's the same customer who will go to Chroma, okay, and buy it, and he should have the same customer experience, correct? So the consistency of me giving a customer service to this person who's coming to Tata New, or he is going to Chroma store, okay, should be similar. And that's what we basically maintain it as a part of our brand onboarding process. So today we have more than 14 Tata brands, okay, on Tata New app. I'm talking about non-financial services. We have more than 10 different financial products which we basically have it on Tata New. The important part becomes how do we give a consistent experience to our customers, okay, who go directly to these brands, okay, and these are big brands, Big Basket, 1MG, you name it, right? Taj Hotels, correct? Or they come to Tata New, give them a consistent experience. Okay, so that is one part of it. The second part of it, and by the way, how do we achieve it, right? So it requires a beautiful integration which we have to do it with brands, so that when Anil call, let's say a Chroma customer care or a Tata New customer care, he gets the same experience. And hence the integration between Chroma and Tata New has to be seamless. Okay. The agent who's performing at the other end, he should have all the information which a Chroma customer service agent has it, or a Taj customer service agent has, or a 1MG customer service agent has it. So that integration becomes very important, and that basically where your first point of why the technology is the backbone of it, right? So that is very important. Then comes the experience part of it, correct? So you're providing a consistent experience. The experience comes as a part of how do we basically enable your system in such a way that a customer can get any information at any point of time, okay, waiting for either a human agent on the other side, okay, or somebody to help him or her, right? Hence, that started a journey of increasing the self-service component within our customer experience. So it started 2 years back when we had a simple bot, menu bot. Okay, we moved to an AI bot. Okay, to an extent that today around 85% of our queries across all these categories which I spoke about can be serviced by the bot. Okay, today on chat, tomorrow on email as well. So that automation is very much important. Not to, of course, it helps as an outcome to save cost and all the other stuff, what Sahil was also talking about. But it is more on giving them a customer experience which is consistent, right? Because the LLM what you'll use it, the data which you'll use it, okay, has to give a consistent experience to the customer. Okay. Plus, it will give at any point of time, right? Either you deploy an agent at 2 a.m. in the morning so that he or she can give that information, or you have self-service bots in such a way that that information is provided to them. So that journey started, and today, as I said, to 85% of our this thing. But don't forget, okay, we do not compromise on the experience part of it, and wherever there is a human touch. For example, for any reason, let's say you ordered some product, okay, and for whatever reason it basically got damaged or it basically was not reached in time. There is always a human interface because empathy is very important, okay, when you talk to customers, because you do not want to lose that customer. You do not want to give a very machine level response to a customer on any delay which has happened, correct, or any bad experience which a customer has happened. So we never compromise on the human part of it. So a blend of making a self-service using AI automation and stuff like that, and a human interface is what we talk about. And then on top of it, the word Tata comes in, okay, where the trust factor is more. Anybody who basically comes and talks to us with any query or with any complaint, okay, they have a complete trust that, okay, if I am going to this customer service center, my problem will get addressed. So that's an additional thing which we have to take care of it when we service our customers based on that. So sorry, a little longer answer, but a consistency with the better customer experience and trust on top of it is the mantra of how we basically provide service to our customers.
Thanks. That's really cool, actually. You talked multiple directions on the technologies, which actually every organizations need. One is the AI, and which one of the experience you talked about is Chat GPT, okay, or not Chat GPT, is either the AI bots experience where the customer is engaged, where his queries get addressed, or bots which can help to seamlessly transition right from, if it is onboarding, get them onboarded through bots, and the turnaround time can be quite significantly improved, because if you call a customer help desk, then when it will be resolved, you don't know, right? But then if you go with the systematic approach with the bots, you know what questions you can pose and what problem you are facing, and you can get it addressed. Okay, so taking that, there are multiple challenges the customer faces. Okay, so I'll just take it to Sahil. Okay, Sahil, how do you think that what kind of customer challenges in today's era, the digital transformation or digital technology, in your experience, can help, apart from what Nikhil just talked about? Okay, maybe today's era, which could solve customer problem now, but then it can also help to solve in futures. So what kind of consistency related issues which you need to maintain can be addressed?
See, the way I look at this problem is, today the consumer has a lot of options. It's actually a paradox of choice. If you don't serve your consumer well, he has a brand or he has a separate partner to go back to, and he can buy from there. So the way to probably look about this, especially in the digital ecosystem, is what I call as the 3C formula, which is to say that first you have to create content. Around that content, you have to develop communities. And if you have enough communities, you will have enough word of mouth, which will lead to conversion. So if you are able to develop this flywheel and this starts to kick in, and it is regular and it is consistent, like some of the panelists were saying, then you are in the game. you will have your positioning, you will have your market share, and it will be hard to uproot you even when somebody comes and tries to undercut you on the price. So the way to think about what are the challenges, this challenge for the consumer is that he has so many choices. How does your story resonate with the consumer? What you are selling, whether it is a electronic product, a physical product, a lifestyle product, or apparel, how should the consumer decide that you are the first person to which he or she should go and buy? That, I think, starts from content and ends at conversions.
Basically, there is no monopoly, right? Everywhere there is a huge competition in every sector, and I hardly find any organization which is running like a monopoly. There are, but then maybe regulated also. But competition for a private firms is where very difficult to, in terms of survive, if you do not have a right set of mix of, let's say, product and services. So I'll just take it to Manoj, and if Manoj could talk about how do you basically in this competitive era, you in your business, okay, you think that you have to bring different technology services or in innovations, basically, if I call out or research and developments which can help you to maintain your positions and also grow at the same pace.
Absolutely, as you rightly mentioned, like when you go to any mall or like specifically food court, you find many options. Okay, and it's completely what is your appetite. You would like to eat something. Okay, today I've selected, or today I thought like I would like to buy some burger or pizza or any food. You have many choices. What is something that you can ensure like you give something to the customer and customer will come to you? It's the only experience, because that is what I feel and that is what our business goal. Because, and innovation, of course, that is go hand to hand. And what we decided, like what we want to do it, like whether it is a mall or dining or any other part of the business, we want to keep the consistency. We want to keep the seamless experience to all platform, whether it is your mobile or any other applications. It has to be a unified experience, and that is where we are all like pushing more and more ourselves, so that you don't feel like any differentiate between whether you are on self-ordering kiosk, whether on you're in front of the counter, or you are basically using mobile applications. That is where we are pushing ourselves, or as a IT, and we are saying like we want to create a synergy between all three platforms, so that customer don't feel like any disconnect going anywhere. Okay, and that is helping us, in fact, trust me, because when you open your mobile application, you feel suddenly, okay, you're buying, you selected product, because see, every click is matter, because I think more fellows will also agree to this. Every clicks are matter, whether you're creating additional click, that matters, because we have to keep it very simple, so that customer don't feel like, okay, what is this now, after this, where should I go it? So that experience is critical. And that is where I feel like in this particular era, if you want to drive the customer, or if you drive the business back, or if you would want the customer to should come back to you, the one thing that you need to ensure, like your innovation and your customer experience should talk each other. And no matter what, like say, like we spoke about chat GPT, we spoke about chatbot and all. I think that is where, of course, chatbot cannot solve all the problems, but at least chatbot is there at least to solve something, because I'm not saying like chatbot will give you whatever you are expecting from the chatbot, because end of the day, it's a trained chatbot. Okay. But we've created a certain, so that customers should not feel like, okay, nobody's answering my call. And that is where we are saying like chatbot is going to help us. If there is an query, whether it is online or offline, if customer raise something, they don't expect like you will come back to me after 2 days. Correct? Especially in our case, we can't do that, because if your burger is not right, if you're not happy about your food, you can't wait for another 24 hours to get me the other burger. And even if I'll tell you, okay, in 24 hours I'll give you another burger, you probably don't want to eat it. So that's a scenario, and that is where we are working. Like we said, it has to be instant gratification. It has to be whatever a customer is not liking the product, it has to be immediately. We have to act to it. And how do we ensure like we convert the customer again, so the customer should not feel like they've been left out. So as like my panel is also saying the same thing, customer experience and innovation has to go hand to hand, and that is where we are all driving, we are all pushing ourselves. And just to cut you short, innovation, something that I spoke about many times, but the seamless, extreme, the user friendly. So when we create something, we are actually talking about, think about from the customer shoes, not think about the IT shoes. Because the moment you think about the IT shoes, you probably create so much of confusion for a customer. So when you're creating something, any particular application, any particular flow, you have to think about the customer point of view, how customer is going to go through this particular app. So that is basically is helping us.
True, actually, I'll just take it to Nikhil. But before that, experience. So I can talk about, especially one of the experience which is common to everybody's life is the, if you want to book a ticket, especially ISTC, and this is let's say Tatkal ticket, and you book, money get debited, and then still you don't get ticket, and it gets time out. That's a weird thing. Okay, so. Technology is there, but then they have come up to a large if you look at way 2001 to till date, okay, the improvement is significant, and all technology is driven, okay, in terms of design, development, bringing a new set of hardware, softwares, okay, and it is a long journey as well. So taking that as a innovation requirement, Nikhil, what do you think can be in the future a disruption which can technology bring to customer experience?
I think technology has already brought in a lot of disruptions, and disruption, when I say, it's in a positive form, right? You think about 10 years back how the customer engagement was there, how it is now. Whether you talk about personalization, okay, whether you talk about the interaction in the service, what we do it, okay, all this basically has brought disruptions. I think for a if you talk about two stakeholders, which is one is corporate and one is the customer, on both the sides it has benefited. From a customer perspective, it has benefited because the customer has got the choice of channels which they can use to basically interact to get their queries solved, right? The customers have got a 24/7, okay, a platform or a channel through all these self-service channels of getting their answers solved at 2 o'clock in the morning, correct? And of course, they have got it where they need an answer now, immediate, without having to wait. For example, what Manoj was talking about, they will not wait for 24 hours or 48 hours, okay, for them to. So for this benefit for the customer, okay, of getting this reception which has happened. On an organization side, if you see, of course, if you see a model of 10 years back, okay, and let's take an example of Tata Neu also. You start off with one category, two categories, you keep adding it. Today, as I said, we have 14 categories. Okay, we'll add more. Okay. It cannot be a mechanism of I add X number of categories or brands on my app, and hence based on that, I increase my cost by X fold. Correct? So, for example, if I am, let's say, a 10 million customer base going to a 20 million customer base, doesn't mean my cost has to go by 2x. Correct? And hence the technology disruption, which basically is beneficial for the organization, also comes into play. Correct? You have to do automations on it. Okay. As I said, again, it is cost is an outcome. Okay. The experience becomes important for it. But we cannot go completely in a very linear fashion. Correct? So in my view, it has basically a positive or a win-win for both customer as well as organization. Let me share some examples of how it has helped our organization in particular. A very simple example of today, on our social media handle, we get hundreds and thousands of tweets and posts every day. You won't believe 80% of the tweets and posts are responded using AI, okay, without agent intervention. Okay, so earlier when we started, every post was basically being monitored, and then it was appropriate, and then we used to basically submit the response. We don't need to do it now. 80%. Okay. Now this something has enabled, and again, I'm not saying about the, so in one way you can say, okay, out of, let's say, 100 people team, you can do it with 20 people team, right? Because 80%. But that's not the idea. The idea is, okay, you train your system in such a way that, okay, the answers are still accurate. The customer get the information immediately, okay, rather than waiting for a human to respond to it. The second thing is, I spoke about self-service, right? Our self-service, okay, across channels, whether it is chat, whether it is email, whether it is on the app, okay, is as high as 85%. 85% of the self-service, okay, is being done again for the benefit of the customers. Okay, so, and all these things come at what metrics? How do you measure it? Whether it is successful? Consistently for last 12 months, we have been more than 80% on customer satisfaction score. And again, let me remind you, we do not choose whom to get surveys. Every interaction which a customer has it, any channel, okay, gets a survey to respond. Okay, and we're consistently 80%. So there is something which technology has brought in. Basically, customer is happy about, okay, and hence it is helping customer as well as, of course, because a happy customer, okay, will make the organization better, bigger, profitable, everything happy.
Really true, because that's basically, if you look at many organizations actually relying on AI for responding tweets, and because if you do not respond, that is also a problem. And if you need then some kind of technology backbone, which maybe AI or Gen AI, which can able to quickly address the customer problem, so it is not more of a static in nature rather than completely integrated with your business systems, so that it can actually respond with the right set of data. So that way the customer problems can be resolved much faster. Okay, and I feel that uh, there is need that for every organization there is a 360-degree knowledge base of any customers, so that you can serve them better. Okay, so some kind of as a technology disruption involves business analytics or data analytics, or you call customer analytics, is the key aspect, because with that you can take some decisions. Okay, and you can build your strategies, you can create new product, new capabilities, and give better experience to the customer. And to Sahil and to Manoj, according to you and your experiences, if I pose the same question of disruption, a lot of things are happening. Okay, but give me in a very brief, what do you think is a new next technology um, which can disrupt the market segment where you work?
Tough one. Whatever I will say, somebody would have done it somewhere in the world. I think we all hear a lot about artificial intelligence. I don't know if artificial intelligence will move to an era where it will personalize each and every touch point of the consumer journey. I think that can be a huge one. And with personalization, I just don't mean that you are showing less discounts versus more discounts. Uh, you are showing somebody what they bought 1 month back, or 1 year back, or 5 years back. That's not the kind of personalization I'm actually talking about. I'm talking about something which uses big data, which is able to foresee and forecast what the consumer is likely to buy in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years. Because uh, supply chain still is a large part of how this business actually operates. The entire apparel and the footwear industry tends to buy 12 months into the future. So it becomes very difficult to understand what are the trends which the consumer will have a fancy for, and how will it actually pan out. So I'm actually looking at artificial intelligence to break the barriers, bring in a lot of personalization, and help forecast the trends which are now done, I think, broadly over Excel and broadly with a lot of qualitative insights.
Manoj?
Yeah, I feel like you have a lot of data. I think everybody has a lot of data, and then we capture a lot of information from various channels, whether it is your offline, online, e-commerce, social media, any channels. It's important to know the customer. So whether the customer is interacting to from any of the channel, you should know who's your customer and how to interact with that customer. So I feel like AI, of course, Gen AI specifically, it's going to really helpful, because when you have all this information, all this data, I would say not the information, because when you have the data, then Gen AI probably help you to move to into the information. So converting data to the information, that is critical. And I feel like Gen AI something is going to stay for sure. It is not only about like to getting this data into information, it's also about interacting to the customer in a different way altogether. So for me, I feel like yes, because interaction is important. And you know, one bad experience to the customer can lead to a lot of issues to the business, in fact. So specifically for our business, like we have, like, you know, as I told you, like we start from buying to delivering and after delivery as well. So we ensure like everything has to be intact, everything has to be known, what I'm doing it, what is customer is like, you know, feeling, and everything that has to be tracked properly. So that is, I feel, that is what my viewpoint.
I'm just thinking one of the disruptions which is happening across the world, but in India, experiences I have not seen much in terms of product and its usage is the AR and VR, augmented reality and virtual reality. Maybe Nikhil, you can say something if there is something that Tata Digital is doing with respect to AR, VR for their product and customer experiences.
So again, as you said, it's a very, very nascent stage. Okay, the best example what we are right now exploring, okay, is the use cases, especially in the electronics and in the hotel segment, right? Because that is where both AR and VR are very relevant. Okay, and how basically you can use these technologies to give an experience to a person of he or she buying that kind of a gadget. Correct? So that is one. Similarly, if you see on the hotel side, okay, and this is nothing to do with Chroma or Indian hotels. Okay, this is something which at an industry which is happening. If you see on the hotel side, okay, a virtual tour of the property, okay, of where you are going to stay and what facilities and amenities you'll be getting it can be basically demonstrated through that. Okay, so these are the two things. Now coming to what can be the future technology intervention which we can see it as a part of customer thing. See, one of the thing which I always dream of, okay, is just imagine, Anil, you are driving in your car, okay, platform agnostic, maybe you have an iPhone or an Android, it doesn't matter. You call your assistant, which is either Siri or Alexa or Google, whoever it is, and you tell that, okay, the Mumbai Delhi flight which I have booked it for 26th of September at 7 p.m. Can you move it to 9 p.m.? And then the confirmation you get it is, okay, the flight has been changed to now 9 p.m. The big basket delivery, which I was supposed to get it, let's say at 5 p.m. Okay. What's the status of that? Status is very simple. But can you basically deliver it at the door because I'm not at home? And then the Siri / Alexa basically it confirms it and does it. So that type of automation where your voice command, okay, becomes your request, okay, rather than typing it, rather than basically calling a call center, talking to a human or a bot, okay, and getting it done is something which I find is a disruption. Apart from already there are so many companies today in India, okay, by the way, a lot of them we use for all the examples which I gave, okay, none of them is basically home generated. Many of them have been used by our partner ecosystem, okay. They are actually getting into it, whether you do it 100% QA, agent assist, and so on and so forth, okay, and beautiful platforms available in the market which can be used. Something will be applicable for this industry, that industry, but we have a actually we as a company have a good choice of shopping around so many these partners where they can bring the best solution which fits your needs. Okay, so that's what I would think.
True, actually, and to add to it, plenty of things are happening actually, and engaging customers where the technology is playing crucial role, and everyone has to be on the edge. Okay, you cannot rely simply on what you have built now. Rather than you have to keep on doing some innovation research, because today whatever you have retained may not be tomorrow with you. Okay, so analyzing, having customer analytics, understand their behavior, perceptions, and the focused. What Sahil is mentioning, next 2 years, what the customer is thinking of, okay, will help basically in order to foresee what is your future strategy in terms of digital transformation, what roadmap you need to take, and what kind of directions you want to bring up to your own organization. So you have to work right across, and don't have to wait for the things has to change. Okay, that's my submission, that innovation, continuous innovation has to be done by everyone, so that you can give a better customer experience. That's I can conclude of. If you have more time, you can talk. Otherwise, we can wind up. Or if you have a audience has any questions, I can take it up.
So I'm delighted to be a part of this forum and getting to hear from such vital, eminent people. Well, we are sort of early stage startup working in the similar space, and it is very essential we understand things from the perspective. Two questions. One, as an enterprise, how does it all start? Because use of data analytics, AI, ML, all this is very exploratory at the moment. I'm sure we all acknowledge and understand that. But as an enterprise, where exactly an initiative starts? That's one question. And of course, two, also as a company or as a service provider, solutions provider, what will be the best go-to market for us, especially when we are looking at enterprises, to help them think better and to take a decisive decision in this direction.
So I'll try to answer it very briefly on two things. Where does it start? Okay. And I'm not giving you a bookish answer, but it starts from the customer. Okay. Customer wants dil mange more. Correct? He wants more. He wants this thing to be done. That basically becomes, that need of the customer becomes a requirement for the organization. Then they basically figure it out that, okay, yes, if this is the need of the customer, okay, how do we basically help customer getting his need fulfilled? Okay. And then they basically start figuring out what the solutions are. I think Manoj or Sahil, somebody said that, okay, the solution should not be based on what we have. The solution should be based on what customer needs. So the solution should be dependent on that, correct? And that's exactly what happens. A partly corrected version, it is not in the nascent stage right now. It's not in an exploratory stage. It was an exploratory stage. And by the way, it will continue to be an exploratory stage, because whatever you have achieved now using AI and all this machine learning is actually showing results. I can tell you for my company, it is showing results. That doesn't mean that we have reached to the pinnacle, right? It will continue to explore more. We'll continue to basically get more. Okay. And we'll because we'll continue to get or find out more and more, we'll achieve more as well. Okay, so that is a brief thing. What was the second part? What was the second question?
Yeah, if you allow me, there's just a small counter question I have around this. So I'm sure there are quite a few use cases as far as use of data and AI is concerned. And, based on whatever experiences we have had, discussions we have had with quite a few enterprises so far, they seem to find it a little difficult to start. It's something like, is this something they should deal with internally within an organization, or should they actually count on any third party organization to help them get started? Because there are quite a few things around or apprehensions around the validity of the solution, the gestation period, the security of the data, and quite a few potential barriers out there. So yeah,
absolutely, I agree with you. And just reverse that same tagline of ye dil mange more from a customer to the organization, right? So when you go and sell this to organization, these are the 10 use cases which I can basically help you automate. Okay, they would see, okay, is there a benefit of me giving you X dollars, okay, in getting what you are giving it to me? So the answer is also to your second part of the question. So how do we go and sell it? Correct? My suggestion or my request, okay, or it will be very simple, right? Directly tackle the problem which I have it. Okay, do not basically go and share a solution which you have built it, which will help the entire industry. I just need a solution to my problem. Okay, if you can demonstrate your solution which you have built it to address my problem, it's a win. Okay, if you basically generalize it, okay, and say, yes, this industry is going through it and hence I have developed it, very good, but customize it for my problem. And then it will be not a cakewalk, but it will be an easy walk for sure.
That's true. That's pretty much. One more. Do you have a time? Want to take one more?
Hi. Customer ordering process is a part of customer experience. Can you please share your thoughts on alternative means of ordering process in digital environment other than ordering on the company's website or mobile apps?
You want to take Manoj?
See, customer ordering process basically, it's nothing but it's a interaction. How you want to do the interact with the customer, okay? And what I feel like, as a any organizations, customer service is basically nothing but is an enhanced part of customer experience. The more you do the customer service, the better is your customer experience. And I feel like whether it is M-site, like as you rightly mentioned, like M-site, website, or any other channel, I feel like ordering process has to be very simple, fairly simple for a customer understanding point of view. I was also talking about it cannot be like from the tech point of view. It is always has to be from the customer point of view. So what you are making as an ordering point of view, like as a customer, when you're talking about ordering to delivering, when we say like when you order, before ordering there is a lot more of journey that we have to do it, because ordering is basically converted customer. I'm talking about before even ordering it. So you'll have to think about from the before ordering point of view, how the customer is going to come to your particular applications. It could be anything. What is the click, what is the behavior that you want to create, what is the journey that you want to create with the customer. That is also very critical aspect that you created, because see, when you're talking about ordering, which means like big gaya customer, aa gaya hamare paas, that's the secondary. Coming to taking the customer to the platform and taking to the end-to-end journey, like we call like all PDP page, the starting point, end page, you have a cart page. Every journeys matter here. So I feel like when we're talking about ordering and how do we ensure like ordering to any other channel, how do we ensure it should be a better journey, we should think about one step before going to the ordering. How do we ensure like your overall process coming to the platform, going to the ordering, it should be matter. I hope that this answer your question, or maybe we can discuss after.
Thanks, Manoj. Thanks everyone.